Having passed by the requisite 3/5 vote, the House has overridden the governor's veto and the bill becomes law, notwithstanding the governor's objections. So be notified.
Within a span of a few hours, Tuesday afternoon, both the North Carolina Senate and the House voted to override Governor Roy Cooper's abortion ban veto. Both chambers voted right along party lines. Under the new law, most abortions are banned now after 12 weeks. There are exceptions for cases of rape and incest up to 20 weeks, as well as exceptions for life-limiting fetal conditions up to 24 weeks, and exceptions for the pregnant woman's health at any point in the pregnancy. The bill also includes funding for state employee parental leave, improving child care access, and maternal health care and foster care. Now, Governor Roy Cooper vetoed the bill over the weekend after spending nearly a week trying to convince just one Republican to just side with him and take away that supermajority. The override vote showed that he was not successful in doing that.
This legislature that moved this legislation through with lightning speed, with no public input and with no amendments. All we needed was one Republican to stop it, one Republican in either the House or the Senate. This vote shows that Republicans are completely unified in their assault on women's reproductive care.
Governor Cooper says he will work hard to get the restrictions eased as much as possible. He believes this will be a major issue for next year's election. White House press secretary released a statement following the veto override, saying in part, President Biden and Vice President Harris will continue to work alongside Governor Cooper, state legislators, and Americans who are fighting to protect access to reproductive health care in the face of relentless attacks, and will continue to call on Congress to restore the protections of Roe for all people in every state. Now, as you just heard a few moments ago, there are 3 different exemptions to this 12-week limit. Rape and incest exceptions go until 20 weeks. Life-ending fetal complications go up until 24 weeks. And there's no limit on when an abortion can be performed to save the life of a pregnant woman. But there are caveats to even these exceptions. The law is not clear what a woman would need as evidence to prove rape or incest. As for the medical emergency that would necessitate an abortion, the requirements include conditions that would cause death or irreversible physical impairment. It does not include psychological or emotional conditions. So for an example, that means that a woman who maybe is suicidal because of her pregnancy would not be considered medically exempt from that 12-week ban. Any abortion performed after 12 weeks will have to take place in a hospital. Now, the new law was touted by Republicans for its supportive funding in multiple areas related to child and maternal health. So let's take a closer look at what that is. One targeted is infant and maternal mortality. The law allocates $3.5 million for the next few years to award grants to local health departments. The grant funds should be used to purchase and make available long-acting reversible contraceptives. It also increases how much pregnancy Medicare and Medicaid can now cover. The law also expands paid paternal leave for all state employees and teachers. Right now, as it stands, 8 weeks of paid paternal leave are available to eligible full-time employees, and 4 weeks are available to eligible part-time workers. Under the law, the way that it is now newly done, the 8 weeks will be available to all full-time state employees and 4 weeks for all part-time employees. Now, the law also includes $700,000 a year to the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, this would be for the State Maternity Home Fund. This money can be used to provide maternity housing or alternative care for any expectant mother in North Carolina who is experiencing an unplanned pregnancy. It also promises over $23 million for various efforts to improve the state's foster care and adoption services. Now, lastly, the law looks to improve child care availability in North Carolina. $75 million will be dispersed over the next 2 years to help make dependable child care more affordable for parents. The provisions in the law officially go into effect July the 1st. In the meantime, South Carolina is having its own abortion battle. Republican lawmakers in the state are looking to restrict abortions, but they can't agree on how far the restrictions should go. One group is pushing for a near total ban. The other group is pushing for a 6-week ban. In the meantime, the Democratic minority is pushing to stop any abortion ban.
This bill ties the hands of doctors because doctors have to make decisions when their back is against the wall.
The price of a human life, you can't put a number. The price of a human life is priceless.
In the meantime, the state's current abortion ban sits at 22 weeks, but that does not necessarily mean pregnant people can receive abortions up to 22 weeks. A 6-week abortion ban that went into effect last year was being debated by the state Supreme Court up until just this month.
MUSD said that they could not help me because if the Supreme Court decision came down in the middle of my induction of labor, then they would be held liable and they couldn't take on that risk.
That couple had to travel to Washington, D.C. for their abortion after learning that their baby had a rare heart defect and would die soon after birth.
And the trauma of walking through the world pregnant is excruciating, knowing that your child isn't going to make it.
That couple shared their story in front of a House panel last week, which advanced a 6-week abortion bill proposal. The bill is being debated in South Carolina's Senate right now.